What's up, everybody? Welcome to the 100th episode of Super Gamer Boys. I am your host and captain and dad, Garrett Morlang, and here in the virtual studio with me is the nerd dad himself, Zech Keenan.
Hey, I'm back. How's everybody? I'm back.
Back from the dead. Back from the dead.
Thank God. Thank God. We missed you so badly, Zach.
Oh, man. I listened to you guys, and I missed me, too. So I'm happy I'm here.
Okay. Nice. And also join us here in the virtual studio is the one, the only, JJ Purdom.
Well, thank God there's only one of me. Thank God I'm the only one. Hey, guys, thank you so much for having me here on the show this week. I really appreciate it. And thank you, Garrett, for pointing out that my microphone was faced the wrong direction. I really genuinely appreciate it.
Yeah, no, I'm glad we figured that out. That was before last week's episode. So if you thought he sounded good last week, it's because I have a good eye. And I saw that his microphone is backwards. Boy, tell you what, that changed things. I
was going to get to it eventually. We had instructions on the microphone when I got it, but I didn't look at that. To be perfectly honest, I'm a dude, so I typically throw those kind of things away.
Nice, cool. Well, how you doing? Zach? It's been a couple of weeks.
I've been good. Been busy. Been just working. Doing the Mass Effect podcast was pretty fun. Yeah. Sucked up a lot of my time. So because I wasn't on the show, it doesn't mean I wasn't working on the show.
Oh no, 100%. You're still you're the big man in charge of our Super Gamer Book Club.
Working title.
Working title. Yeah.
The Game Vault, the Super Gamer Vault.
I don't know what we're gonna call it, because it's not really a vault, because it's not like we're pulling out every game ever. You know, this is like it's like a select few, the important, noteworthy things that are gonna talk about real life issues. Type
noteworthy
things,
games we've played club. No.
Super working title.
We can just call it the Working Title Club.
Yeah,
that kind of works.
There we go.
There you go. Title Club of Working Title Boys. No,
I think we're gonna have to take this back to the drawing board, man.
Yeah.
You lost me the moment you added boys on the end, and then it had like a whole different connotation to it. Then you also made it a gender thing. I feel like the book club is a non-gender, non-binary type of thing. You know what I mean? It's like
what's our podcast?
It could be fluid. It could be a fluid thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Wait a second.
I mean,
time out.
No, okay. But you want to go ahead and just, if you'd like to edit that off the show. And I know how Garrett hates to say anything that can be construed as being, homophobic, racist, political, in any way. So yeah, if you just need to eliminate what Zech just said a second ago, feel free to do so now.
No, man.
Let's just pretend like that
to all my cisgendered.
That's too much.
Let's pretend like that didn't happen. Let's just come right back in. We'll start the whole show over. Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm JJ, and thank you so very much. I am the new captain of the Super Gamer Boys, and with me on the show is the one, the only, Zech Keenan. Zech, hey, welcome back to the show. It's great to see you, Zech.
Hey, what's up, DJ? Hey, I'm happy to be here, man.
I'm happy to see you here, to be perfectly honest. And of course, folks, who could forget the classy, the non-cisgendered. He cares about everyone individually, and he never votes politically one way or the other, not to the right nor to the left. He is Garrett Morlang. Garrett, welcome. No, that was very nice. That was nice, boys. It's great to see you guys. And you know what? I think today is such a special day, because today is the 100th episode of the Super Gamer Boys, and it's also our 2-year anniversary.
Heck yeah. Who would have thought, JJ, you and I, recording in that office 2 years ago, would have made it this far. Recording in our bedrooms.
And it's so neat because now we're doing social distancing. So now we're doing this from our different studios that we've created. And it's just neat because I remember when we first did the podcast, we were sitting at a desk and, it was a very small, it was like a closet-sized office. So we were sitting next to each other. And I actually, in order to be able to be comfortable, we shared a microphone, and I put my arm around you. You put your arm around me. We're just kind of leaning on each other. And dude, we've been leaning on each other ever since, man. Do you know what I mean? Figuratively, emotionally, spiritually, brother. I know that we've built such a deep friendship. And I thank you for recently giving me the captainness the ship. If that's a term,
you kind of took that one, but it blows my mind, honestly, thinking about it. We've been doing this for 2 years. It definitely doesn't feel like that, but man, it's been a ride. Who would have thought that we'd start in an office, go to a studio, and then end up back in our own bedrooms? Like who would have thought 2020 would have happened, right? We had a nice set and lost that, but hey, here we are, still bringing you guys the content, and it's been a lot of fun. I was originally gonna wait until the mailbag section, but that's kind of, since we're talking about our anniversary and 2 years and everything going on, let's answer a couple questions that we have here about the podcast. So Dan Jam Gent writes in, congratulations on your 100th episode. What is one of your favorite moments of the show so far?
Favorite moments of the show?
Right.
Oh, I've got so many, and they all involve messing with you, Garrett. There's so many of them, and every one, for some reason, ends with you later being, sad or upset. But two of them that truly stand out immensely. One of them was on an episode with Zetch after Zetch joined the show, and it was the three of us. And when Zetch started to pick at one of your scabs, because you're a very sensitive soul, very, very, some would say far too sensitive. And you got a little emotional because he was getting at you. And I saw, this is a nerve that can be plucked, and we can get some raw emotion out of plucking of said nerve. So I jumped on the bandwagon that Zetch had created because it looked really comfortable. It had a nice big seat. And I jumped right in and started tagging on you, and you got so mad that you screamed out, "Are you guys going to let me talk?" And it was, dude, it was the greatest moment in show history because you got so pissed and that you were mad, legitimately mad for the next several minutes. And then you kind of calmed down. You realize they're just screwing with me.
I don't even know what we were talking about.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
I remember, but I'm not going to say it again. I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to bring it up.
Ooh, what was it?
It was the Gran Turismo Forza thing.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, guys, go back. That's episode 1. I don't even.
Which I was listening to. Colin Moriarty's podcast, Colin's Last Stand. Mm-hmm. If any of our listeners haven't listened to that, they should totally give that show a shot too. It's really, really good.
It's a good one. It's really good.
But they were talking about Gran Turismo, and it's a PlayStation exclusive podcast. Like all they do on that show is talk about PlayStation. And he brought up Gran Turismo and Forza, and he's like, and well, everybody obviously knows that Forza is the superior racing game. Like everybody knows that. But Gran Turismo still is good, but Forza just wipes the floor with Gran Turismo.
Did you see the shadow crossed over the eyebrows of Garrett Morlang right now?
It's okay to be wrong. It's okay. You can like it. I don't care if you like the game. You just got to admit it's not better than Forza.
The very next day, you did admit to me that you were wrong, though, when I backed it up with lots and lots of sources and articles.
I didn't say I was wrong. I said...
Okay.
I said,
what was your favorite moment of the show? We should not do this now. We should not. This is not a good time to be fighting. We're celebrating. Okay. We're celebrating Super Gamer Boys.
This is how I celebrate. I instigate.
Technically, this is my favorite moment. This right here is my favorite moment that's ever happened on the show. No, so there was another time between Garrett and I where Garrett and I had shortly been doing the show before Zetch joined. And I come from a theater background. I did a lot of theater, a lot of musicals and stage stuff. And on top of all the announcing and everything else I did before doing the podcast. And Garrett actually was not really sure about how to do improv. And I improv'd some stuff about impersonating his mom, being a smoker lady who came downstairs. A lot of joy when he's like, "What are you doing?" And I just rolled with it. And eventually he kind of caught on, and it worked out beautifully.
I think my favorite moment is when I
was freezing up like crazy right now, right?
Not that bad.
No. I heard it all. You're good.
Yeah.
No, yeah, that was a good moment. And yeah, to be completely honest, I was just like, what is going on? I don't know what he's doing. And if you're just come on, play it. This was before video, so you're just kind of like waving your hand at me, and I'm like, okay, yeah,
yes,
mom,
with it.
Yes.
And you're like, oh, yes, mom. And then to back that up, I don't know if I've talked about it on the show in a while. I shared it recently. Your mom and your dad, Bill and Jen, they're beautiful people. I got to meet them once, and I just love them to death. And they listen to the show on occasion. But it's
every week,
I did
so
laugh
careful what you
about it
say.
because your mom is. What's that?
Every week, so careful what you say.
Of course. I love your mom. She's like 2 years older than me. So it makes me feel so old that my buddy is, he could be my kid almost, And so I was laughing because your mom, after doing the voice for her, when she came to the podcast studio, I asked you, is your dad a hugger? And you go, oh, no. And I was like, I'm hugging this dude. And I'm going to give him like a big one, like a super uncomfortable hug, because I'm a hugger. And I'm like, I'm hugging this dude. I don't care how uncomfortable he is. I'm going in, and I'll make it last a good 2 minutes too long, where it's
Obviously
like uncomfortable. Yeah, no, I'll do that now. No, it's even better to do that now. But and then his mom was in the other room, and so I was so excited to meet his mom because I'd been doing the impression of her, it's being like an old smoker lady, talking like this or whatever. Like obviously she doesn't even talk like she's from Brooklyn or whatever with like a big, nasty smoker's voice. She was in the other room and she said, JJ, are you there, honey? And I just lost it. What a beautiful person. Hilarious. She got me tremendously. Gave me a big hug and gave me a bigger hug than I gave Bill a moment before. And it was just as uncomfortable because I thought she was going to, judo chop me to the throat because of the bad impression. But she seemed to love it. And I just love her to death. You have a wonderful mom who legitimately is like 3 months older than me.
It's hilarious.
Yeah, well. Oh, man. What about you, Zech? Any favorite moments? Send it to you.
I haven't been on the show as long as you guys have, obviously.
Yeah.
I think JJ kind of called one of my favorite moments was getting you riled up about Forza, and then and how it's better. And then the BioShock one where I found out that you didn't play BioShock, and I trolled you really hard, and then got the Discord community to also troll you. So
dude,
yeah.
that was also a really great moment. That was a very great moment.
Yeah, I'm not so sure about that.
You ever notice that when Garrett gets angry, he actually literally turns red?
Yes.
See that? Yeah, it's gone now.
A little bit.
It's gone. But after that, Forza is a much better racing game, despite the fact that Gran Turismo might have more technicalities built into it, which makes it not fun for everybody playing it. Oh, there it is. There's the redness.
Saw it again. Yeah, the flushing.
Okay. My favorite moment, if you were all wondering, is probably back when we did that Resident Evil 2 stream. JJ came over to my house.
Oh, okay.
And it was our first time doing a stream, anything with video, actually. We hadn't even done video podcasts at that point. It was like, okay, let's experiment with this game we were both stoked about. We're super excited to get scared out of our minds. And we had a blast. It was so much fun. It was spooky, scary game. So fun interacting with the chat. And also just JJ doing his thing, being a goof in my house and blowing up my toilet, and good times.
I'm sorry. You need to forgive already. It's been a while.
That was just a lot of fun. It is a lot of fun when we can all get together and do stuff at our houses and do things actually in person. That's the biggest thing I miss the most with not being able to record in the studio is seeing you guys every week and being able to do things together. And that was a blast doing that Resident Evil stream though, and hopefully we'll be able to do. I don't know if we'll be doing group streams, but hopefully we can start doing some more streams here in the future. Let's see here.
Yeah, I would really like to do streams again, Garrett, because that Resident Evil 2 stream was one of the best moments ever. And as I recall, and I could be remembering a little bit incorrectly, but you played for a good 35 minutes or so of the first stream.
Yeah, I played for a while.
And then you finally died. And you handed me the controller and you said, I'm going to go to the bathroom. I'll be right back. And so I started playing on the stream, playing the game, and I died within a minute and a half. And
I think you died 2 or 3 times. And the time I was in the bathroom, here it is that was so good.
And I was screaming like a little girl,
like a little baby.
And hollering, waking your kid up, waking Shep up.
So that's all I heard.
know Trudy was make him leave. He already destroyed the bathroom. He ate all of our food, 2 weeks of food. And then he's waking the kid up, so he's got to go.
That's what I remember. That's all I heard from the bathroom. I went, and as soon as the door shut, and I was like, JJ screaming and then laughing and laughing, and then silence. And then like more screaming and then laughing and then silence. Like, okay, I don't know what's going on out there, but it's not good.
Gotta admit, that game is so much fun, man.
It's a good game.
It's such a fun game, Resident Evil 2.
Freaky game. I haven't beaten it yet still. I still need to get back into that one.
Yeah.
I should have had that one be my October game. I think I had Dead Space. Dead Space is like my October game. But
Yeah.
I didn't play it this year.
RE2, that's a good one. One more question here, since we're on the topic of our anniversary. Boba Fletch writes over on Discord, after 100 episodes, what's one of your main goals for the next 100?
To be taller.
To be taller. Zech wants to be
I
taller.
think I'll make it now. That's been my goal every year for the last 32 years.
Yeah. They have more hair would be nice. I'd really like to have more hair. So if in the next 100 episodes I can have more hair,
Okay.
amazing.
Okay.
You can find a filter for that.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure there's something I can do about that in post. I can add some hair on your head. Give you like some Justin Bieber hair. I don't know.
Yes. For one episode, we should all have Bieber hair.
Yes.
Oh, that's actually a great question, Bubba Fletch. Again, Nate, thank you so much for joining us on the show while Zech and I were both off a few weeks ago. You did an excellent job. I would say in the next 100 episodes, it would be great to see us do more streams. We posed some questions recently on our Discord, just looking for what it is people like about the show and what are some things that we can maybe tighten up on. And I think that doing more things together, doing more streams would be a really good answer. So like stay to our strengths and kind of stay away from our weaknesses. Talking Forza with Garrett, weak, totally weak.
And it's supremacy. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No, for me, I don't know. We were kind of talking about it a little bit beforehand, me and Zech, like, well, what do you mean? What are your goals? Like, we want to get bigger and better, right? Like, that's a pretty obvious one, but I don't know that I really would love that to get bigger and better. I'd love it to be, I don't know if in 2 years we can make it a full-time gig, but I mean, if it could be like a part-time gig where our community is bigger, our Discord's bigger, like, we can be putting out more content. I think it'd be so cool to have, another host and be able to do like more shows that are catered to different audiences and stuff like that. Like
more shows and streams.
Exactly. Be able to start doing like more live streams with, maybe live, like shows that we only show live or something like that. Like, I don't know. Like I just want to have more content, that caters to a bigger audience and, more giveaways. By the way, oh man, I still have all these shirts. I really need to send a message out to all the Patreon supporters and get their addresses. Maybe for Christmas, we'll get a bunch of shirts out to people.
That's awesome.
Because we have a bunch of those shirts that we got printed by my buddy. So,
or the Merry Christmas boys. Or the Kris Kringle boys.
Yeah, there you go. I like that. I like that.
Santa boys.
Wait, the Kris Kringle. Okay. Yeah.
So for funny story, I'll share it right here. Okay. So I don't tell my kids that Santa Claus is real. I tell them I don't. I'm not. I don't perpetuate the lie. Okay.
I'm not lying to my kids.
Like I understand that a lot of parents and probably a lot of listeners tell their kids that Santa Claus is real, and you know what? That's totally fine. You celebrate the Christmas the way it makes you happy, makes your kids happy, whatever. Okay. That's fine with me. For me, I'm like, why tell them that? Why tell them that? Like I don't understand the logic in it, so I'm not gonna tell them. So. And I was raised like that. Like my parents would. I've ruined Christmas for so many kids growing up my life. I don't feel bad about it. But like growing up,
no soul at all.
My mom and dad have had many conversations with me. Like, you gotta stop telling the other kids that Santa isn't real. We're getting calls from parents, and they're very upset with us. It's funny.
Man.
Anyway.
Yeah, so those are some of our goals. Zech wants to get taller, JJ wants to grow more hair, and I want our podcast and brand to get bigger and better. So there you go.
There you go.
That's what we're looking forward to for the next 100 episodes. So let's get into some, I guess, our 2-year anniversary update here. Might as well right at the top of the show. We're going to have some changes here. It's been 100 episodes, 2 years, and some changes in the scheduling of the show and the hosting of our show, kind of how it's going to look from here on out. So first things first.
You throwing me off again?
No.
Dude,
No, I mean,
you promised.
after the lawsuit last time, I think legally there's still another 9 months before I can fire you.
Because I was like, dude, I'll call my lawyer like right now.
Yeah, no, I know
Right
you will.
now.
I know you will, Super Gamer Man. Super Gamer Man. Yeah. No, so the schedule will be changing now. We're still sticking to Wednesday releases, but it will be every other week. I know it might bum some of you out. You all look forward to getting us each and every week in your ear holes, hearing about the news, everything going on. So our goal is for the regular podcast episodes, it will be every 2 weeks. But what we're hoping to do, the plan at this point, is basically on that Monday night when we would normally record, or, you know, depending on who all wants to stream, whether JJ wants to jump on there, Zetch wants to jump on there. It doesn't necessarily have to be a group stream, but we're wanting to, in those off weeks, do a little more community engagement, actually like interact with you guys in those off weeks. So you get a week of podcast news update, and then those off weeks, we're going to stream games. We're going to play games with you guys. We're going to hang out with you guys, and just chill. And because that's streaming is a little less work than all the recording and editing and everything and planning for the show. Like I could easily just sit down and pop on the stream and just, again, this would be super chill vibes, nothing super produced or crazy. We just want to hang out and have fun. And so that way you guys are still getting content in those off weeks, just a little bit different content.
Maybe play games with you guys.
Exactly. And yeah, that's what I'm most excited about is like, okay, we can jump on and play Apex with the guys or play some Among Us or whatever it might be. Just jump in there and all have fun and actually play with you guys.
Candy Crush.
Who listen to the show. Yeah, Candy Crush, my favorite multiplayer game.
Yeah.
Some Fall Guys, maybe.
Yeah.
I'm gonna play some Fall Guys.
Fall Guys, so good.
Not my jam. I'm out. You guys do that one. I'm out.
Oh no, you're not only you're missing.
I do know what I'm missing. I've played it. I don't like it.
So that is our first update. Scheduling changes. We're going to every other week. I think we're going to do an episode next week still. We're actually having some guest hosts. Nate's coming back and my buddy Dan, because they're going to be talking about the next gen consoles. They have Series X, Xbox Series X, and PS5s coming. And so next week we're getting an update. So after that episode is when we'll kick into the every 2 week podcast. And the last thing is a little bit of a hosting update. So I don't know, Zetch, if you just kind of want to share, but like, yeah.
So I'll be stepping back a little bit from podcasting. So it won't be me regularly. I will be doing the book club episodes every month still.
Yes.
So you can always catch me there. Next month we're talking about Last of Us.
Yeah, which I forgot to mention last week. I was like, oh shoot, I asked you about it and didn't announce on the show, but we're doing The Last of Us this month.
Yeah, so I'm excited about that. That'll be a lot of fun. I thought you did mention it.
Maybe you did.
I thought you did mention it too.
Okay, it was all, you know what? I did. Now I remember because we talked about it. It was JJ's favorite game. Sorry.
Yeah.
My brain's foggy, but yeah, so Zetch, so we're still going to see Zetch on the show. It just won't be every episode like it has been. It's been like us three, pretty much every episode, unless one of us is gone or sick or something. Zetch is kind of stepped back a little bit, so it'll just be making an appearance here or there. But he's taking over, full ownership of that book club. He's doing a lot of work playing those games each month, getting guests lined up, planning all that. And so yeah, that's kind of our goal moving forward. Is it'll be me and JJ, and if we're able to get a third guest, that'd be cool. Maybe get some Adrian up in here, get Nate back on here again in the future. We have a lot of cool friends who are always willing to step up and join us, so it'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, and I'd like to drop a bombshell live on the recording while we're doing it. I also want to make an announcement to you, Garrett, and to the rest of the listening audience and Zetch as well. From here on out, I am legitimately taking over, and I am the new captain of this ship. So everything will be passed through me. We're not going to allow this stuff to be Garricized, okay? And yes, that is a real word. I'm taking over. It's a hostile takeover where I control everything from here on out.
Can't you just mute him from here?
I think I can. I can just.
No,
we
please.
we can't hear you.
They can't hear me if you do that. They can't hear my hostile takeover.
Oh man, I honestly, you had me there. I was like, oh man, like this, you're really serious. Like I'm gonna worry. JJ dropped like quitting on the show. Are you kidding me right now?
Okay, first of all, keep in mind, never serious, serious.
You
Okay?
had your serious voice. I've heard your serious voice like once in my life. Like you have had that with me, that talk. And so you had that
Is that
serious
when I
voice going.
said that stuff about you can never leave a restroom like that again?
Yeah, that's exactly what it was.
Yeah. I was legitimately serious. You can never do that again, dude. We're going to get asked to leave that building from some. I don't know what's going on with your diet, man, but you cannot be doing that stuff. Unacceptable.
So yeah, those are our updates for the show. Bi-weekly schedule with streams in those off weeks as much as we can. And then, Zetch is still going to be around, but just not here every episode. So if you really want to see him, if you love all the awesome knowledge and fun he brings to the show, then just support us on Patreon.
You don't got to butter me up.
See him every month. But no, as I said, people
just
enjoy.
Just another talking head.
People enjoy hearing your stuff. People, after this last weekend,
enjoy hearing you, Zedge.
Also, shout out to all you guys in the Discord. Honestly, it's so easy, like as a creator, to just all three of us making this podcast. At least for me personally, I so easily am like, man, like, is this really good enough? Is this just a piece of hot garbage? And you guys were so awesome this last weekend with all the encouragement and just like, I don't know. Yeah, I'm kind of at a loss for words, honestly. It was really meant a lot to me, and I'm sure to the other two guys. So thanks for that encouragement on Discord.
Yeah.
Because we really do want to make
really
the best
listeners.
Yeah, we want to make the best content for you guys. And so hearing your suggestions and the encouragement was, just super awesome and really kind of pumped us full of energy to get out there and see what awesome stuff we can make next.
There was one suggestion that I actually really think that, I don't know, Garrett, if we ever actually had a conversation about it at work, but one of our listeners, we talk about him quite often. He's our friend from Wales, my brother from a different mother.
Yes.
Dan Silly Socks, Dan Jam Gent. He's one of the best dudes I know, and I don't even really know him. I don't know a lot of great dudes, you know what I mean? But I really like this guy, and he listens to the show, and he has some really poignant stuff. But one of the things that he said that he'd love to see more of was, he said it would be great if we could see more practical jokes on Garrett. And so I just want to say, from the bottom of my heart, Dan, thanks, man. Thank you, my friend, my brother from a different mother, for suggesting that, because it genuinely is a great idea, and I think we're gonna try to give you, the listener, more of what you want in the future. Thanks, Dan.
Yeah.
Cool.
Except for more podcast episodes, we won't be giving.
Except for those, but as far as like the teasing, and the practical jokes on Garrett,
more of that for sure. Unfortunately.
More of the
Alrighty. Well, cool. Again, congrats to you two and all of us. I'm excited to see what the next 100 episodes are going to be like. Hopefully we're still around on another 100 episodes. Jay doesn't say anything too racist. Not just kidding. I think I said that.
I think it's twice as long now that we're not doing it every week.
There you go. There you go. So it'll be a little fewer chances of that happening.
The idea isn't to give people half, I just want to clarify. The idea is not to give people half of the value. It's not to give people half of the content. The idea is to go from just doing this medium of doing podcasting to diversifying more by doing more streams, by being more interactive. So the idea is, like, we've got a great community that's been being built on this show, and we're just looking for other ways, and time is of the essence. It's a lot easier sometimes to jump on the stream for a half hour and to be able to communicate with you, the listeners, and to be able to have some fun with you personally, and some things that we can do on Twitch and YouTube that aren't necessarily being locked in a studio for 2 hours every week, essentially.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, instead of 2 hours of recording a podcast, then we can be streaming with you guys for 2-3 hours playing games. So that's what I'm looking forward to, is actually interacting with you guys more than just in Discord, but playing games alongside each other. That's when you really get to know people, is hanging out and chatting and playing games. So it'll be fun.
Totally.
Cool, guys. Well, again, thank you all so much for your love and support. But let's get into our real housekeeping. Today, we're talking about Mass Effect Remastered. How much storage space will we really have next gen? And is Activision Blizzard going mobile? ? But first, let's give a quick shout out to our super gamer producer. We have Adrian the Homeboy Holmes, and our super gamer sponsors. We got Bill Bird over there, Julie Bates, Dustin Long, Brent Fox, and Daniel James. Thank you all so much for your support. Without you guys, this just would not be possible at all, honestly. Like there's so much, like whether it's equipment or in the past buying movie tickets or buying games in the last few months or whatever it is, like it just helps us tremendously. So thank you so much for that support over there and helping us get to 100 episodes, 2 years into the show, and hope here's to 2 more years. You can support us as well over at patreon.com/supergamerboys if you don't already. And we're going to talk about that later on in the show and how you can get our bonus episode each and every month through that as well. I think it's time for the mailbag.
Mailbag time.
Yes. I'm going to miss that so much. I'm going to miss that. I'm going to clip that out. I'm definitely clipping that. And that's what we're going to use every week for the mailbag. So that you'll still be here with us.
Excellent. Excellent.
Oh, man. I need to get a little stream deck. So like when it gets a mailbag, I just hit smash that button. Just mailbag time. Okay.
A half-hearted jingle. So you get for not having actual produced sounds.
Hey, it's more fun this way, huh? Our first question comes from Discord. Kajoma01 writes in, what is something that you wish you would have started doing earlier in your life?
Saving money.
Yeah. You're right.
Being responsible with money. It's legitimately, most of my life I've been really, it's easy come, easy go. Anytime I have money in my pocket, it burns a hole in my pocket. Now, being a little bit older and having kids and responsibilities, I know the value of a dollar. And I know that sometimes prolonging your gratification in the quick and waiting, prolonging it makes it a whole lot better. So I wish to God that I would have the knowledge about how to use money way back when I was 20 versus how old I am now. I think that I would have a whole lot more money, to be perfectly honest. Wouldn't have spent it on stupid stuff. I'd have been smarter with purchases, not let it just disappear so easily.
Yeah, I feel that.
Maturity, man. A lot of times people say, like, and you hear it when you're 20 years old. People say like, oh man, if I only knew then what I know now. And that's a really, really great statement. And I live by that motto now, because I wish to God I could get a hold of the 20-year-old me and scream at him like, don't do that. And that Mary Jo girl, don't ever go out with her, dude. She's a nightmare and she's going to stalk you, dude. And dude, I think she's on meth. I mean, that's, some of the stuff that I'd be telling my
Yeah.
And and be better with money. Yeah. Be way better with money.
I'd be like, listen, get over it. You're going to be short and unattractive your entire life. Just suck it up now and move on.
Oh, come on. There are lots of women who are into the Lord of the Rings trilogy and like.
I found one and I married her, and that's all I need.
No, it doesn't make any sense. You're so married up. I met Amanda and she is way too pretty to be with you. That's the first thing I told her. She was like, "Hi, it's nice to meet you, I'm Amanda," and I was like, "You're way too good looking. What are you doing with him? Run! Does he have you under some kind of a contract you can't get out of? Man. Run!" And she just laughed, and I was like, "I'm dead serious, woman. Run!"
Serious, no joke. Oh man, I wish. Well, something I wish I would have started doing earlier, but it's just something I would have started in general. I wish I would have gone to school, like actually gone to college. I know.
That explains so much.
I hear a lot of like, you always hear people like, you don't need college. Like, you can learn everything online. You can do it, blah, blah, blah. But tell you what, having a degree is extremely helpful with getting a job. A lot of jobs still are like, you need to have the degree, even if you can learn all this stuff and have all the skills from online. They still want to see a piece of paper that says you went to school. And so, yeah, I wish I would have.
Want to see that piece of paper?
What?
Yeah. I just want to let people like, because I was along the same boat. I was like, why am I even in college? I'm only kind of doing this because my mom and dad want me to. And then when I got my, I was working for one job, and one of my bosses was talking to me. He's like, you know why having a degree helps? I was like, no, I don't. And he's like, because it proves to whoever employer you're working for that you're committed to getting something accomplished. That's all that piece of paper really means. And then you're willing to spend a whole lot of money to do it. But still.
Yeah.
So depending on what it is, okay, you could totally get by you should totally go to college and explore some type of degree, whether it even be a, tech school or something.
Yeah.
Sorry,
yeah.
I totally hijacked your.
No, you're good.
thing,
You're good. Yeah.
Still.
I 100% wish I would have done that, or at least when I backed out, sooner than later I would have jumped right back into it. Because now it's like looking back and I'm like, or even looking at now, I'm like, okay, maybe I can start doing some classes, but I have 2 kids and a full-time job and a podcast. I'm like, when am I ever going to do college courses now? Like, it's going to take me 10 years.
What's really going on here is you're having a little bit of a mid young life crisis. I think
a quarter life really crisis going on here.
Yeah, it's like a late 20s crisis. And I think what's going on is you've got a couple of kids now. You're not really getting to play video games all the time. You don't really care for your job. I think that really what you need to do is you need to come over. We will create the college experience. You need to come to my house. We're going to do a lot of bong rips. Okay. We're going to play video games and eat Fruity Pebbles from a large mixing bowl. Dude, I'm telling you what, man, you're gonna. You didn't go to the right college, my friend. Have you never seen Animal House? I can present to you an authentic Animal House experience at my house, at my Animal House, dude. I'm telling you, no degrees necessary. But by the end of the night, you will feel educated, my friend, on real life. Educated on real life.
Okay, interesting.
It won't cost you anything.
I'll think about it. How about that? I'll think about it.
Lock that one away.
Yeah. Is that you got anything you want to share? Anything you wish you would start? Or I guess you shared yours, saving up money, huh?
Saving up money.
Yeah. Alrighty.
I haven't really made a whole lot of life mistakes, Kajoma. But the money thing, probably.
So far, Zetch is just nailed life. Perfect. No hiccups, no speed bumps.
Yeah, I'm just kidding.
When you're good, you're good. When you're good, you're good,
Just going to keep on going with being as narcissistic as possible.
I would not change any of the mistakes that I've made. All the mistakes that I've made have shaped me into the person that I am. I actually told somebody earlier today, and I mean this, I'm not even trying to be funny. I am so much better of a person. I've learned so much more from the failures that I've had in life than I've ever had from any of my successes. And so I wouldn't take any of them back. Some of them suck to go through, but they've helped shape me into the man that I am today. So I wouldn't change anything. I just wish that I was just a little better with money, and just wish that I made better choices. But as far as experiences and things that happened, those things were meant to happen because I kind of like who I am. You know what I mean? Well, I mean, most of the time I cry a lot when I'm, alone in the bathroom. But should I not? Can you cut that out?
Tobias,
can you just cut? Go ahead and edit. I don't want anybody to know I cry on the pot sometimes with my pants around.
Do you guys watch? Do you watch? I don't know why. I do know why. Do you watch Arrested Development?
Love it.
No.
You love it? Tobias is just in the shower, just crying with the bar of soap. With a washcloth. I think it's a washcloth.
Beautiful. That's such a great show. Awesome.
It's one of the best shows ever made. It's one of the best shows ever made.
Absolutely.
Alrighty, so here's the last mailbag question from Sir Prince a lot. Who is the absolute worst video game character? Not necessarily bad, just the worst. So I think he's wondering what character really rubbed you the wrong way? Either they're just annoying or
man,
you hated their. Oh yeah,
I'll go. So you ever play Star Ocean?
I heard of it, never played it. No.
Okay,
so I feel I can picture the box art or something, but yeah,
it's a fun game. There's a lot of them. They're kind of it's a JRPG. It's like an action JRPG.
Okay.
And fun game. It's cool. Interesting stories. But my word, there are just some Japanese characters in those games that are just obnoxious as all heck. There's a little girl in Star Ocean: The Last Hope, which is the one that I played. I played on 360, and she's just this little girl that whines and has this really whiny voice. And she's supposed to be cute. Little girlish cute, just want to be your big brother type thing. But no, I just wanted to punch her. I was like, if I get a chance to kick you off my ship, I'm kicking you off my ship. Can't do that, but I wish I could have. She's the worst. Any JRPG character that is just over the top like that, doesn't work. No.
Interesting. Interesting.
One of my favorite games was Super Mario Brothers 2, and I know that what was it, Doki Doki Panic or whatever was like the original game, and then they made it into Super Mario Brothers 2. They skinned it to be a Mario game. I hated Wart, which was the main bad guy, big boss in Super Mario Brothers 2. Absolutely hated that character. Hated like the fight against that character at the end. I just felt like, what a waste. What a crappy character. I've never liked it. I've never even went back and played until the end in a long time, just because I don't like that character at all.
Crazy.
I don't think I ever beat Super Mario 2.
Oh. You basically success. You got the princess out of the castle, or something. I don't know. Like pretty much the same.
But she's
stuff.
with you the whole time.
Same as every Mario game.
Doesn't Mario like wake up from his dream? I think at the end of that one.
I don't remember. I
remember watching my dad play it, and then he like Mario just like wakes up from his dream. He's like, "What the heck?"
That could be accurate.
Spoilers. The game's like 30, 40 years old by now, so
right?
Get over it.
Oh man. I'm just gonna say Bubsy, and I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Oh.
Bubsy.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not gonna explain because you know why. Yeah, everyone knows why.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Alrighty, guys.
Google it.
I think it is time for the nerdy nudes.
Nerdy
It's now
news.
time for the nerdy news.
Yeah. I went back today and listened to episode 1 to hear the inception of the nerdy nudes. And let me tell you, first of all, episode 1, yeah, not great. I was real bad at talking. Like, you think I'm bad now. Everyone listening thinks I'm like bad at talking right now. Listen
We all
to episode
do.
1.
We talk about it.
It's been exponentially better. But also, it's so funny. Like, I'm just stumbling over my words. And that's when I accidentally said like nerdy nudes. And you're like, wait, immediately latched onto it. I'm just like, dang it. Like in the moment too, I was like, that's not what
It's okay, let it go.
It.
100 episodes is a good time to let it fly. We're done. It's all in the past.
I mean, we have T-shirts.
You don't gotta live in your mistakes, Garrett.
We have T-shirts and people have bought them. We can't change it now. It's a brand thing.
You sure as heck can.
my mom owns one.
She doesn't wear it though.
Yeah, she does.
You know
100%
what?
wears it.
Does she know what nudes means?
Yes, she 100% knows what nudes mean.
Hey, if Jen Morlang is listening to this week's episode, I beg you, if you can, post to our social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. If you could post on there a picture of you wearing that Nerdy Nudes T-shirt, that would be fantastic.
I hate nerdy nudes so much.
Do it and just say hi, Zetch. That would be awesome.
Just tag Zetch on all 3 platforms: Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook.
That would be great.
Pinterest.
Blocked.
Alrighty.
You can't block Garrett's mom.
Watch me.
That?
Sacrilegious. We'll kick you off the show.
I'm already stepping away.
Oh, dang it. We should probably get into these news stories, though. It's 46 minutes in.
Let's blow through these.
Mass Effect Remaster Trilogy coming in 2021. A remastered version of the Mass Effect Trilogy is coming to console and PC in 2021. Electronic Arts and BioWare confirmed Saturday. It's called Mass Effect Legendary Edition. It's bundled with all 3 mainline Mass Effect games: Mass Effect 2, Mass Effect 3. It does not include Mass Effect Andromeda, but in addition to the single player and DLC for those 3 games, it will include all promo weapons, armors, and packs, all remastered and optimized for 4K Ultra HD. So, I mean, the article goes on and on about how they've been working on this for a while. Zetch, you just did a Super Gamer book club on Mass Effect. You're a big fan. How do you feel about this one?
Oh, I'll buy this day one.
Yeah?
Yeah. I'm ready to... I mean, I can't imagine the game's going to look that much better with the new textures, but I'm really hoping that they make it play a little bit better, especially the first one. Tighten up. I don't think they can really go in and change the mechanics a whole lot.
Right.
But...
Yeah, this is,
I really wish.
Okay. So this is a remaster, not a remake. So that is just like updated.
Yeah. Just
4K textures.
Coming out on?
It just says console and PC. So I imagine Xbox, all the PlayStation consoles. Like, it doesn't give any specifics, but if I had to guess, it's pretty much everything. Oh, you know what?
Yeah.
I take it back right here. Spring 2021 for PS4, Windows PC, Xbox One with forward compatibility and targeted enhancements. So it's not being made for Xbox Series X and PS5, but it'll have quote unquote almost like a patch that upgrades it a little further for Series X and PS5. So it's being natively made for current gen with patches for Series X and PS5. But yeah, I don't know. I'm excited because I've mentioned before, I've only played a little bit of 3 because it was a free PlayStation Plus game on PlayStation 3 like 8 years ago.
Okay, prone to I know how Zetch behaves when somebody hasn't in a game, and I don't want to get yelled at, okay? But I've never actually played any Mass Effect games.
They started out Xbox exclusives though for a while, so like me being a PlayStation guy, that's why it's so hard for me to get a hold of one. So, and you weren't even playing video games. So
yeah, but I just want to make sure that like Zetch and I are still friends based on the fact that
we're friends.
I haven't played Mass Effect.
No, you get a pass. You get a pass.
Oh, so JJ gets a pass, but I don't get a pass with BioShock?
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Have you? You don't get a pass for BioShock.
No pass.
You of all people don't get a pass for BioShock. You
fair.
started it.
That's fair.
And then you didn't finish it. It's not like you didn't have access to it. Stop making excuses. Own up to your mistakes.
Yeah, it was a mistake. The next news story then coming from BioWare as well. If you all didn't know, Saturday was N7 day. So
that's right.
They dropped a bunch of cool news. BioWare confirms new Mass Effect game in development. It's by a veteran team of developers are already hard at work. They don't really say much more than that other than
coming in 2023.
Did they? I don't even know if they even get a date.
No, there's no date.
No date.
Kidding?
Yeah, right. But they do say, meanwhile, here at BioWare, a veteran team has been hard at work envisioning the next chapter of the Mass Effect universe. We are in the early stages on the project and can't say any more just yet, but we're looking forward to sharing our vision for where we'll be going next. And they did release a piece of artwork that appears to be associated with the new Mass Effect, a painting of a ship possibly known as the Mud Skipper, based on its file name.
So it's not based off of the first 3.
Okay. Yeah, you played them, so do you have any insights? Like, would you want it to be based off of that at all, or no?
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't mind it being set in the Andromeda Galaxy. Just give people, just do better. Like, the combat in Andromeda was really fun. Like, the funnest it's ever been in any Mass Effect. But, like, the characters were just so lame. There was like no depth to any of them, especially comparing it to like Mass Effect 2, where it's like all these characters had some there's a lot of depth to like their origins, like very dynamic characters, where Andromeda didn't have very dynamic characters. It was kind of like everybody's kind of the same. They're all kind of flat.
Okay.
But, I mean, Andromeda or Mass Effect 2 it got deep enough, but it didn't get like, anyway.
Yeah. Okay.
I would want it to be set in Andromeda or something else. And now that my heart's already been broken with Andromeda, I just got to tell myself, okay, it's not going to be Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3. It's just going to be a new Mass Effect.
Yeah.
Because it sounds like Casey's not going to be involved.
It can't be worse than Andromeda, hopefully.
Hopefully it can't be.
Yeah.
Hopefully they keep the same. Because, I mean, Andromeda was built in the Frostbite engine. And so it looked and played really, really well.
Yeah, I take that back. I did play a little bit of Andromeda because they did the free demo thing where you could play like the first few hours for free, and then they wanted you to buy it, like the full version, to finish it. So I played just a couple hours. But for me, having never played any Mass Effect game, I was just kind of like, okay, this is fine. I had nothing to compare it to. And because I didn't have like a love for, I thought it was because I didn't have a love for the Mass Effect franchise. I'm just like, this is fine, but I don't feel like I need to pay the $60 for this game at this point after just a couple hours. But yeah, okay, interesting. Yeah, I mean, I'm really excited for the remaster because again, I haven't played those games, so now I'm like, okay, here's my chance to jump in and give them a shot. And with a new one in the horizon, it'd be really cool to get through that trilogy before the new one comes out in like 6 years.
Yeah, exactly. I bet you they'll launch the Andromeda one as like DLC for it later. Like, hey.
Oh, the remaster of Andromeda, you think?
Yeah.
I mean, but that's a current gen game. It's a PS4, Xbox One game. They don't really need to remaster it, right?
That's true.
Like, it would just go out and buy the game. It's always on sale. It's always like $30 or whatever. You can get it.
Maybe we'll have a Mass Effect bundle then.
Oh yeah, get the
Legendary Collection and the bundle.
And the bundle for like yeah, probably like $50 or something, $60
Yeah.
maybe. That'd be a pretty good deal. Get 4 games for $60. Cool. Well, let's get into the next news story here. This is, I'm calling it Storage Roundup. So none of this is just a little FYI. None of this is
StorageGate.
StorageGate. I like that. You see, that's why we keep you around. That's why I'm not going to fire you. None of this is surprising because it's something that happens with, like, it happened on PS3, on PS4, but it's unfortunate, really unfortunate. And it'll be interesting to see how the companies maneuver this and how us as consumers figure out how to maneuver this. So, first up, Xbox Series S will have 364 gigabytes of storage available for games, it's claimed. So, I know you're all saying, wait, what? I thought it has a 512 gigabyte hard drive in it. You're right. But 148 gig of that, according to a Reddit user who has a digital-only console ahead of time, and then there's been a lot of other, I know, outlets kind of confirming some of this. 148 gig of that is just system, operating system, UX, all that type of stuff installed. So it only leaves you with 364 gig of storage on the hard drive to use for games. Now, we talked about it before the show a little bit. We always kind of go over the news stories. It was brought up that with the Series S and X, you can save your Xbox Series S and X games onto an external hard drive, but you cannot play them off of that. So essentially, if you want to, play a game, you'll have to transfer it back and forth from the hard drive if your main solid state fills up, which 364 games, that's not a lot of space. Talk about like Call of Duty Modern Warfare. That's like what, 150, 160 gig or something with all the updates.
Yeah, it'll suck up like all your data.
That's like half. That's like, half of the hard drive gone right there with one game.
Yeah.
I see here that now Xbox Director of Program Management Jason Ronald told IGN that because of the smaller resolution texture packages required for the Series S, which will run software natively at 1440p as opposed to 4K, install sizes will be significantly reduced. So games aren't going to be as in like a large file size compared to the Series X version because of, it doesn't need all the fancy textures if it's not showing the fancy textures.
Yeah, it goes up to only 1440p.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, with a performance target of 1440p at 60 frames per second. So our expectation is that developers will not ship their highest level MIP maps to Xbox Series X, which will reduce the size of the games. So Xbox is hoping that the developers just get on board and basically create 2 SKUs, like another SKU of their game, essentially, for the lower end console in order to help, gamers not completely fill up their solid state. But that just seems like such a hassle, though. Like, yeah, what do you think, JJ?
Yeah, my understanding was, and I could be wrong, somebody said something in the Discord, and I know you guys always expect me to be the one who knows all the technical jargon. And, now that Zetch is going to be gone, I'm going to be the one having to tell you guys all about the gigahertz and the Ramkins and stuff like that. So don't worry, Zetch. I got you, man. I'm going to try to cover that, the technical wizardry that you do so well.
I have faith in you, brother.
Thank you. I have no faith in myself. So I'm just kind of letting that out there.
My faith is all the faith you need.
I was hearing somebody talk about the idea that some of the files are actually going to be smaller in the games. So is that something that they've said? Is this something that Xbox has come out and said, like, hey, with everything being new, like these games are actually going to be a little smaller, or a lot of it's going to be done online?
I believe I said that actually in the Discord.
Was that you? Well, I knew it was a learned man who said it with intelligence and great wit.
Yeah. So that's what I was just mentioning there. But because it's not, they don't have to, at least on the Series S, since they don't need to have the 4K texture pack, it will be, it says approximately 30% smaller on the Series S than the Series X. So it will be smaller than the Series X, but they have, I'm curious how much, like, what the size comparison would be compared to the current gen. Like, is it going to be smaller than the current gen? Because of course it's going to be smaller than the Series X, because that's next gen and that's the most powerful console in the world. But I wonder, is it only going to be like 5% smaller than maybe series or the 1X and the 1S, or is it actually going to still be bigger, like 5 or 10% bigger? That's what we don't know. They gave us a comparison, but it's a bad comparison. Like, they didn't really help us.
Every time a little tidbit of info, a nugget like this comes out about things like this, it actually tends to lead to more questions than answers.
Yeah.
Well, all the questions will be answered tomorrow
As a recording. Yeah, everyone's getting their Xbox tomorrow. But yeah, so I mean, and like I said before, though, this is quote unquote easily solvable by you plug in an external hard drive, and when you're not playing the game, you can put it on there. You can't play it off of there because it's not fast enough. But hey, when the next time you want to play it, you just transfer it back. Who knows how long that'll take, but you just transfer it back, and then you can play it again right off the solid state. So Xbox is set. Now here's where things get real tricky in our next news story, in our storage gate, our storage gate roundup here. PS5 usable storage confirmed, and it's much less than 825 gigabytes. So that's the advertised size on the box, 825. You actually only get 667.2 gigabytes of space on your PS5 for games. Now, again, it's more than the Series S. So, okay, not terrible, not great. It would have been much nicer to have closer to it, the 800, especially since it's not even a full terabyte that they're starting with like the Series X is. Now, the tricky thing with the PS5, at this point, they have put out a blog post since this article that updated some things, but at this point, you will not be able to transfer your games to an external hard drive. So, at least PS5 games, you will not be able to transfer PS5 games to an external hard drive. You can only download them and play them and keep them on the solid state built into the system, which in the article here it says we were able to get 16 games onto the solid state, but that only included only 2 PS5 games, and then the other 14 were PlayStation 4 games. And then also with the PS5, we didn't talk about with the Xbox, but they have their expandable hard drive that you can plug in. With the PlayStation, there is a slot for upgrading your hard drive, putting a secondary hard drive, but at launch, you will not be able to upgrade your hard drive. Like, it's a firmware update that they're doing down the road to allow you to upgrade your solid state in there. Basically, what I want to get at with the whole PS5 thing is, what in the world is Sony doing at launch here? Like, I just feel like they're really screwing over their fan base here. Like, hey, you only get this small hardware size or hard drive size, and you can't expand it. Like, you're just stuck. You're screwed. Like, I don't know. Like, what do you guys? What are some thoughts on that? You guys, I don't know.
And
Well,
go ahead, JJ.
oh, I was just going to say that I'm kind of sad by that, man. I was really hoping that that Sony was going to realize that, like, right now, Xbox looks like the better choice between these two consoles that are coming out, and it doesn't take very much for Sony to like do some positive stuff in their field. And it just seems like they keep doing missteps over and over right now. I mean, Xbox has just been killing it with this entire new console generation coming out. I mean, they've attacked it in the right ways. And I know Garrett and I are both definitely Sony guys, but we admit freely on this show that Xbox has been killing it. And it just seems like Sony keeps doing little things that it's like they're getting in their own way. They're on their own worst enemy. It's not that they're fighting against Xbox. They're fighting against themselves with little silly mistakes like this that are not conducive to ingratiating your fan base. Yeah.
Yeah, it just seems like such a easy thing. Like, why not? Why couldn't they have had that update, that firmware update ready right at launch? So, hey, you can go out and here's a list of solid state drives that are compatible for the internal, if you want to do the internal upgrade. And here's a list of external drives that can work, and you can it just seems like so obvious a feature to have, especially with a smaller hard drive, with games being as big as they are, to not even be able to, transfer the game. I'm not saying to play it off of a hard drive, external hard drive, but even just to be able to transfer it, to get it out of the way. Hey, I want to clear up my solid state space for the game I'm playing right now, whatever that might be, just the 2 or 3, 4, whatever games, bigger games, Call of Duty, the Spider-Man Miles Morales, bug snacks, those heavy hitters coming out. No, it just seems so like brainless. Like they're just not even thinking. And I don't know, it's been a weird console launch, at least to me. It seems like for PS5 where it's just one thing after another. Like what are they doing over there? What are they thinking?
Yeah. So yeah, it sucks now, but I think as they iterate on the console, it won't be as much of an issue. I think they'll probably find ways to kind of get around that. I mean, think about it. You're buying. When has the Gen 1 of any console really been like perfect? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I know, especially when the Xbox, like last gen, like when you first started getting used to games of those sizes, it was like, geez, I have like 3 games on here and my hard drive's already filled up. Like what the heck? So having 14 on a console ain't too bad. And not to mention, when do you even need all 14 of those games on there at once?
No, that's 14 PS4 games. That's
14 PS4 games.
That's the other scary thing is like we don't know the file size. Down to
like 5 PS5 games.
Right.
But nonetheless, I mean, the point still kind of stands. It's like,
I guess only freaks like me are the ones who are worried about it, because if you go on my PS4 right now, I have like 30 games installed in there because you never know what I'm feeling. And I hate having to wait for a download. So yeah. I love having everything available in a second, because then I can like, oh, you know what? I'm feeling Fall Guys. I'm feeling Assassin's Creed Origins. I'm feeling whatever, Last of Us Part 2. I'm feeling Spider-Man. Like anything. I could just pop it in there and just go for it.
Yeah.
So I've got an interesting question to pose to you guys, and maybe this is stupid. I'm not sure. I have an external hard drive right now for my PS4. I have numerous games on it. Am I able to take that and then plug it up to the PS5 and play those PS4 games that I have on the new system, or is that not something that's available to me?
So that feature is available. I don't know if you'll be able to just like unplug and plug it in. You might need to like delete everything off of it, reformat it, and then download it from the PS5. That's yet to be kind of sussed out and explained. But yes, the idea is like you can still store, like PS4 games can go on an external drive, and you can play games off the external drive. It's only PS5 games that are stuck on the solid state internal drive for the PS5, which is just so like just a previous article talking about Xbox where you can transfer it back and forth. You can't play it off the external, but if you just need to shove it out of the way, you just transfer it over, and then you have space on your solid state to actually play the new games. So yeah, that will still be a feature for you, JJ. If you want to like play those PS4 games, go ahead, play them right off that external. It shouldn't be a problem. You won't get the same performance. It's not going to like load things quick. If you want your Red Dead Redemption 2 to load in 30 seconds, you want to put it on your solid state.
I watched speaking of Red Dead Redemption 2 and storage and speed, I watched Alana Pierce on YouTube. She did a comparison.
Yeah, I saw that too.
You did? So on Xbox Series X, I guess Red Dead loads like from start to when you can finally play it is like 2 minutes and 45 seconds. On the Series X, it's a minute 16. So like insane. Cuts it like in half.
So in half. Did you see The Witcher fast travel? It literally like she went up to to loaded up The Witcher, which immediately booted in the game, like this massive world, just fired right up in like seconds, Witcher 3. And then she went over and fast traveled to a town nearby, and before like the loading screen could barely even come up, boom, she was like in the next town, ready to go. So like Witcher 3 flies on Series X. I'm like, oh man, that's so crazy.
I can't wait. That's gonna be so much fun.
So crazy to like fly around like with fast travel. I mean, they showed that with PS5 on Spider-Man too. Like, yeah, like you have half a second where it shows Spider-Man on the subway, and then it's like in the next part of the city. Like,
not even.
Yeah.
Like one that I saw, he was just like, boom, gone.
Yeah,
it's like on my other side.
It's so
like
crazy.
Not even the subway. They said they could turn on the subway animations if you wanted that feel, but you don't need them.
Right. So crazy. So cool. Very exciting. But yeah, so I don't know if that's, again, yeah, like Zetch was saying, it's probably a temporary, we know it's a temporary thing, but fortunately, yeah, at launch, there's just a handful of actual PS5 games where that should actually be an issue. But hopefully that firmware comes out sooner than later, because they say it's coming, but again, like, When? Okay, like in the spring, there could be another big push of new games, and maybe my hard drive's starting to get full. It'd be nice to have that firmware update by, February or March of next year if you have the PS5.
Do you see yourself having a lot more time to be able to play video games, Garrett? Because it kind of sounds like it's going to be more of the same when it comes to be springtime of you talking about, I didn't get to play anything, but I jumped on stream for like 5 minutes. That was it.
Hey, have you beaten BioShock at all?
Yeah.
Infinite?
Have you beaten BioShock?
No. I've been playing too much Unfortunate Spacemen and Among Us, Secret Hitler, party games with my buds.
Cool. Well, hope those friendships last.
Yeah. When we used to be friends, Garrett, it was nice.
Nah, it was all right. It was all right. Nah. Well, once we start doing our Super Gamer Boy streams, that'll give me an excuse to just pop in there because I'll have people cheering me on in the chat, hopefully. Come on, you can do it, Garrett. You can do it. That's what I need. I just need encouragement. I just need someone to text me and cheer me on, get through that game.
BioShock Infinite? You need somebody to cheer you on.
Yeah. That's nice.
I beat it by myself without anybody cheering me on because I'm a man.
Yeah,
That's what men do, Garrett.
That's what men
do that every day.
Yeah.
It's like getting up and peeing, standing up, or when you're not really tired.
We play video games.
Going to work.
We eat a box of Cheez-Its and drink root beer all day until the game's beaten.
A whole box, Garrett. An entire box. The family size.
Oh, man. That'd stop me up for a week. Alrighty. Well, we are getting late in the show. We had one more news story. Do you guys want to hit it? Or
no,
we want to skip it?
Not really. No.
Let's cut it.
Yeah,
it's not all that exciting.
It's not that exciting.
So we are going to jump into our Patreon ad. Alrighty, guys. So
Wait, are we currently doing a Patreon ad? Is that what we're doing right now?
Literally, when you just interrupted me now, that was me starting the ad now.
That was you starting the Patreon ad.
Yes.
Where you talk about our Patreon supporters?
Yes.
Okay. Clip this out and then do it again. Go ahead. And go.
Okay.
Right there. Right after I said go, clip that and then talk.
Okay, here we go. So you've really thrown me off now. If you guys love what we do, if you want to help us keep going for another 100 episodes, if you want to get bonus exclusive Patreon episodes ad-free early, all that, go support us at patreon.com/supergamerboys, where you can support us at just $1 a month, get our episodes early and ad-free, like I said. $5 level, you get the show notes early, letting you know what we're going to be talking about. You can leave your comments, concerns, questions. We'll even read them on the air for you if you leave those. And you can be in the show description. If you look down below, you'll probably see a few names. Those guys support us at the $5 or above level. $10, you get the shout out on the show, just like our Patreon sponsors. And the top dog level, $15 Patreon producer, just like Adrian the Homeboy Holmes. You get all those perks, plus you get to, possibly be on shows. We've had Adrian a couple times. We love having him. You get to pitch segment ideas to us. You just get to be the boss, really. You're our boss. Although I realized we didn't really talk to him about some of these changes, but that's okay. This is more of a bottom up management maybe than a top down. So but we are so very much appreciate all of you guys who support us and all you who are thinking about it. Now's the time to jump in because you can get two Super Gamer Book Club episodes right off the bat immediately, with a third one coming at the end of this month. They come out the last Friday of every month. And then, let me see here. Am I missing anything? You get all the cool perks of episodes early and ad-free. So tonight, Monday night when we record, that's when I release the episodes. Everyone else gets it Wednesday morning. You got to wait 2 whole days. So you definitely want to do this now. Support us. Patreon.com/supergamerboys. Get those sweet, sweet perks with potentially more stuff in the horizon. Like we talked about at the top of the show. We're hoping to do bigger and better things with all of our free time now that we're not doing a show every week. So, alrighty. Now let's get back to the show. All right. So some new releases here real quick. I guess the only one I have 3 on there. Let's just talk about one because it kind of surprised Setch before the show when we were talking about it. Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Oh, you know what? I was wrong. I told you it came out last week. It comes out tomorrow.
That's what I thought.
You were right. Assassin's Creed Valhalla, November 10th. Comes out on Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Stadia, and PC. So yeah, for some reason, I was under the impression it came out last Thursday, but it's actually this coming Tuesday. So go pick that up. It's getting really good reviews. Also, I mean, we talked about
absolutely smashing, dude. That game looks
cool.
phenomenal.
Gamefly sending me a copy of it. So I'll be able to review it.
Nice.
Play it. Check it out.
Too bad you're not on the show anymore. No, just kidding. We talked about it last week, but yeah, Watch Dogs Legions. That one came out not last Thursday, but the Thursday before, I think. I feel like I haven't heard much about it though. Like, I don't know if that's a bad thing. Like, does that mean it wasn't great? Do you know of any reviews?
I was listening to GameScoop this morning, and they said they were playing it. They said they were enjoying it. They said they liked how British it was.
Okay.
It's not a bad game. So Damon Hatfield from IGN, some of you guys might know him, said that he liked Watch Dogs 1 more than Watch Dogs 2, but hadn't had a chance to really play Watch Dogs Legion.
That's interesting, because I feel like a lot of people didn't like the first one.
Yeah, he said he's in the minority. He's like, I know I'm in the minority on that one, but yeah, I like the first one more than the second one.
So it has a 71 on Metacritic, Watch Dogs Legion.
Yeah. So it's like a C.
It's okay. User score, it's 5.2. Metacritic score.
Out of 10?
Yes, 5.2 out of 10 for the users and 71 out of 100 for the critics, I guess you can call them. The professionals, not us.
Yeah, it's just out.
So, yeah, it is. It's
change.
Pretty fresh, so we'll see how that changes. I mean, it looks dope, and the concept sounds cool.
It didn't even look cool to me. Like, I think
the style looks cool. I think the style, but that's about it.
None of the Watch Dogs have really appealed to me. I think 2 was kind of cool, but not enough for me to like really jump in it. So I don't know. Maybe that's why I don't like it.
Premise of this one sounded really, really cool. I don't know if it's actually as good as they were trying to say, where you could be all these multitude of different characters. More than likely, there's a lot of characters that are just very, very similar. Being able to jump from character to character, as I recall.
Yeah, I imagine it's exactly the case. I mean, you can only make so many different actual like individual characters in a game. Like, it seems kind of bizarre. At some point, it's just like a randomizer that just starts mix matching the same things over and over again, kind of thing. Like, it's like, wait a second, these two people look the same, but they have different abilities or something. Like, that's, I'm sure a lot of that happens.
That's kind of what I think of you and Zetch. I actually believe you guys look identical. Like, to me, like, you don't look any different, except for you're like 3.5 foot taller than Zetch. And other than that, you guys look like the same to me. I don't know if you guys are aware.
Fucking giant.
You know,
I'm
like
not
some
like
people,
10 feet tall.
Some people like will say like Korean people look like Chinese people. I don't agree, but like, you know, people will say like, oh, they all look alike. And I know that sounds horrible. I feel like the two of you guys look alike, and it's really hard for me to differentiate which one is which a lot of the times.
Well, Zetch has an actual beard, so that's an easy indicator. Like, you can look at him and be like, oh, he has a beard. Garrett has like random patches of facial hair on his face. Some of it's not even on his chin. There's random hair in places that
and
it doesn't
Garrett,
belong.
You kind of do have that Joe Dirt thing going where it grows in all white trashy.
Yeah, I actually do that on purpose. That's on purpose.
Nice.
It's called being lazy.
Exactly.
Don't want to shave.
100%. Alrighty, guys. Well, what you been playing? How about JJ? We start with you.
Great, awesome. I have been playing nothing. Yet again,
I knew it.
Haven't had any. Yeah, you knew I haven't played anything lately. Zetch, you're probably not aware, but recently I became Garrett's boss, and ever since doing that, ever since I became the master of the company, some people call it the manager position. Everybody else pretty much just calls it the master. That's what they named my title. It's on my business cards. Ever since I became master and lord over all in the company that we work for, it's been crazy. I'm trying to like train new people. I had a new guy in the car all day. the guy is far too good looking to be in pest control. Like that was one of the first things I told him. I was like, you're way too pretty to be doing this, dude. Like, you should not look like that. And you're making me very uncomfortable. So he's like, my looks are making you uncomfortable? I don't think you can actually tell me that, JJ. And I'm like, I just did. And he's like, isn't that like sexual harassment? And I'm like, maybe. And he's like, have you not read the workers handbook or whatever? And I'm like, I never got one of those.
Yeah, JJ and I were pre-employee handbook. They didn't exist at our company when we got hired.
No, but it's just been too crazy, man. I'm working a lot of hours, and by the time I'm getting home, it takes a lot of brain power sometimes to play a video game. I put on a couple of games, to be honest. I put on Red Dead once, and then I put on a little bit of Horizon Zero Dawn, and I was only able to get through a few minutes of each of the games because I just didn't have my mind was just so warped from just the work and life and the kids and everything else that's going on that I'm like, I can't think. I need to veg out. So that's kind of where I've been lately. Like the last few weeks, it's been like, the brain is not all what it was. I know, Zetch, you work in a very high stressful thing, and there's a lot of stress involved with managing a company and being the master and lord over all. So, hey, you're looking at me, Garrett, like you're denying my masterness of whole profession of pest control.
All I gotta say then, JJ, is that you got to get a game called Hades.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That game, I know Garrett's on your list too, so we can probably both talk about it. But I've been playing that because let me tell you, it's the game you play when you don't want to play a game. Like it is just so easy just to run through this dungeon, hack a bunch of stuff. Wow, woods are hard.
They are. Trust me, I'll be the first one to back you up on that one.
And then die, and then listen to some dialogue, level up some parts of yourself, and then go do it again, and see how far you can get.
Dude, and I was not super like. Hades looked cool, but I'm like, it's not anything I need to pick up until I did the episode with Nate, and he's like, sold me 100%. I'm like, oh, okay, what am I doing with my life? Like, I'm such an idiot. Picked it up like a couple days later on Switch. It is so much stinking fun. I'm loving it so much.
I was super bummed they couldn't be on that episode because I started playing it like I think the week before he was on the episode, and I was like, oh man, this would have been great. Yeah, because he's totally right. Like it is awesome. Darren Korb does the soundtrack again. So I don't know if you've played Bastion or Transistor or anything else that Supergiant's done. Yeah.
Yeah, so, Bastion was on sale on Switch a couple weeks ago for like $2 or $3. I'm like, yes. So I got Bastion, Transistor, and now Hades on there. I think I don't have Pyre yet because that hasn't gone on sale. But
Pyre on Switch?
I don't think it's on Switch. No, I don't think it's on Switch. It's only on PS4, and
that's what I thought.
I don't even know if it's on PC, but yeah.
Now they do a good job. Like it feels more Bastion-y to me than Pyre did, obviously, because Pyre was more like a weird basketball game.
Yeah.
But still cool, but just different. But Hades does a really good job. Voice acting in it is absolutely amazing.
I know. I just love, like, the art style is incredible. I already mentioned last week when I was on with JJ. Like, it looks so cool. The soundtrack's so cool. It feels good to, like, play. I don't know. I'm loving everything about it. It's just so smooth. It's like, I don't know, like smooth jazz or something. Like, it's something you can just throw on and everyone's kind of cool with and will listen to, and it's relaxing. Yeah. Like, it's just, it's not,
it's kind of cathartic.
Not a lot of tension. Exactly. It's cathartic.
I like playing it before I go to bed. Because then I'm just like, gonna sit there in bed, play my little Switch, beat the crap out of some demons or whatever they are, and then go to sleep.
Yeah. So good.
I just got the spear last night, so I think I have like 4 weapons now.
Okay.
I have the sword, bow and arrow, targus or shield thing, whatever.
Okay.
And then the spear. And I think I'm really liking the spear the most out of all of them.
I'm almost about to unlock the spear. So I have I think I need like one more key or something like that. But I have the other 3.
Yeah. The way you level up in this game is pretty interesting too. So basically how it works is as you go from like different encounters is what they call them. So it's like a room, and you go into a room, you either, kill all the enemies in the room, and then you can go to the next room. And then before you move to the next room, the door has like a little symbol on it. And that little symbol could be like a gift, which would be something you can give to like another like NPC character and they'll do something for you. Or this weird purple goop, I forgot what it's called. But you use that to like level up you go to like this mirror in your room and you can level up
your actual character almost, like his max health and stuff like that. How
the ability to like revive.
Dash.
I got one where I can like revive now when I die, so I can get extra chance of going farther, which is super awesome.
Yeah.
And then you get money to like basically like, upgrade your bedroom with other stuff and outfit it with different things. So it's interesting because sometimes you're like, okay, well, you get to a room that has like 2 doors in it. You're like, okay, well, do I want the key so I can get more weapons, or do I want the goop so I can get, so you have to make different choices.
Those first 3 playthroughs, because they don't really explain anything at first either. So I'm just like, what do these symbols mean? Like, I don't understand. So I just started picking stuff. I was like, oh, and then now that I'm later into it, I'm like, man, earlier on, I wish I would have known like this. I would have gone through that door instead or this. But it is kind of cool they give you that choice, and it's always random. Like it'll be 2 choices, and you don't know what those 2 choices are going to be until you see that symbol on the door. Because even while you're fighting things in the room, the doors are blank. And then after you kill everything, all of a sudden, like it brings up your 2 options. Like, okay, do I want to get an upgrade from, what's the one dude?
Karen.
What's it called? He's like basically the god of partying. Like I forget what he's called.
Dionysus.
Yeah, that's what it is. And like he'll give you like different upgrades. Is it like a pomegranate or something you give him? I forget. There's different little like
Aphrodite
amulets and stuff like that. And they give you special abilities, and it's just really cool. Such a neat way to flesh out that kind of Dead Cells-esque game. I love Dead Cells, a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Exactly, but just with a little more.
It's a dungeon crawling roguelike, so it's got like this Diablo feel to it that I love.
Mm-hmm.
You're just kind of like hack and slashing your way through these little dungeons. But it's a beefy game for $24, $25. It's beefy. Like,
oh yeah,
if you can find it on sale, cool. But I mean, honestly, $25, that's like half the price of a full game, but you're still getting a full game experience. I recommend the crap out of it. It's in the running for my top 5 games of the year. Which I'll be on for that episode when we do that.
Yeah. It has so much replayability too, because it's procedurally generated. Like you literally don't know what the next room is going to be. It's different every single time. So
the boss is really hard. I keep dying when I get to Megara. I think I beat her once, and then I think it's got to level up more or something like that. I'm getting her patterns down a little bit different, a little bit better. So, but
okay.
Yeah, fun.
I'm getting the impression that this game, Hades, is kind of like a dungeon crawler similar like Legends of Zelda. Is it like a Zelda thing? That's the picture you guys have painted in my head.
Top down. It's a top-down isometric dungeon crawler. So it's kind of like you're looking at this board at an angle, and your character just kind of like running across this board.
So similar to like a Diablo, where it's like top-down kind of, and going through these different dungeons or rooms or whatever, if through hell, and then it has the
Dark Side of Genesis. I don't know if that would be probably not.
Yeah, no, I know that one now. Yeah.
Okay.
So that makes a lot of sense.
But with the roguelike stuff of like Dead Cells, where the whole point of the game is like to go die, like collect a bunch of stuff, die, go back, use those things you collected to upgrade, get a little stronger, get a little further, and just every playthrough, the idea is hopefully you get a little bit further until you beat the boss and then get to the next area and so on and so forth. Yeah, cool. Anything else you want to talk about on your list there?
I beat Paper Mario on the Origami King.
Nice.
And let me tell you, that's an emotional game.
Really?
What the heck?
That's awesome.
So yeah, the kids and I this weekend, I finally got to the end. And we beat it, and super good game. My only gripe, the only thing I hate about that game, and probably the reason why I will never replay it, is because you get to a point where you have to do this game show moment in this game, and I don't mind game shows. Like that, it was pretty fun up until the part where they like basically rob you of inputting the correct answer. So like, for example, there's like this, you have to use the little spinny, board, right?
Okay, yeah.
And let's say, you do one of the challenges, and it's like a math challenge, and then you figure out the problem. It's like, oh, I know the problem. I know what the answer is. The answer is like 42. And so I'm trying to input the answer 42, because the only way to input 42, or the answer in it, is to actually add numbers on the board.
That sounds horrible.
On a time limit. And so I'm trying to find the right numbers to put in. Like, I know the answer, and I just got done solving the problem. but they put you on a time limit to actually input it in, and then you lose because you couldn't put it in fast enough. I'm like, that's messed up.
Is it designed like to force you to lose though? Like, is it one of those things where like they want you to lose, or are you actually supposed to figure it out and beat it?
No, you're supposed to figure it out and beat it because that's how you move on to the next part.
That's crazy.
It's so irritating. I was like, this is obnoxious. I barely beat it. I think I had like 2 or 3 tries left till I finally was able to get it done. But other than that one thing, I loved it. It was a lot of fun. All the dialogue in it is hilarious. Like there's a part in there where like Bowser's airship crashes and Bowser Jr. is like, oh man, Dad's gonna be so mad. His insurance premiums are already so high. Like,
so good.
I love stuff like that. That's so great.
It's such a good game. It's a treasure. There's definitely some moments in there where they get rid of characters in certain ways, and you're like, wow, did not see that coming. That was. I wish you kids are okay. You kids are okay mentally after watching that happen.
Everyone good.
But
mental health check.
Yeah, excellent game. One of the best Switch games you could possibly own.
Nice.
Yeah, I love it. It was awesome.
That's really cool. Yeah, I want to jump back into that one. I feel like am I on the 3rd ribbon now? Like I'm slowly getting through it. Like I feel like I'm making pretty good progress, but yeah, I need to jump back in that one too. And
the other thing I wanted to say back on that is that they do a really good job of like not being repetitious. Like I felt like every ribbon I went to get was very different. Like very different world. Like there's a part where you're like on a boat and you have to do like some water stuff out in the ocean. And then you're up in like the clouds and like another one trying to do this other, like, dude, it didn't feel boring. Except for maybe the fighting got a little old after a while.
Yeah, but I'm still not a huge fan of like the combat system of the whole like spinny thing. It's interesting, but it definitely for me is just like, okay, like I get it. Like,
but you know, the way around that is you just use all the toads you found and just hold Y and cheer, and the toads will put together the board for you, and then you just go attack stuff.
You collect so many coins, it's so you just pay off the toads, and you're good.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I think there's only one time in that game I was actually hurting for coins. And that's because I bought like a couple of artifact things like back to back. And then I was like, wow, I've got less than 100 coins.
Oh no. What?
Oh no.
It's crazy.
But anyway, yeah, that's what I've been playing.
That's awesome. For me, I already talked about Hades, but the other day I was watching Jacksepticeye on YouTube. I really enjoy his content. Crazy Irishman who plays video games. And I was watching from last year, because for those of you who didn't know, this past Sunday was the 1-year anniversary of Death Stranding. And so I was like, I'm going to go back and watch a little bit of his full playthrough. It's like 10 parts or something on YouTube, like hour-long or 2-hour-long like episodes where he plays through the entirety of Death Stranding. And I just watched like the first, 15, 20 minutes of the first episode, but just watching those cutscenes and watching him play just a little bit, and oh man, it hit me so hard. I was like, I really want to play Death Stranding, and I really miss Death Stranding in my life.
I want to walk. I want to go and do a walking simulator.
But it's just so beautiful, like visually stunning, as well as I'm
falling over from my huge pack.
The sound design and the soundtrack are so amazing. Like immediately I was just like almost getting emotional, like thinking about the story and stuff like that.
I get that.
Good.
I tease you. That is on my hit list to go back and finish. It is a good. That is Kojima's best game.
It's up there.
Are you trying to piss the man off? I mean, what are you doing?
You know what? Like, honestly, I think I was talking with Nate the other day with Boba, and it might be one of my, like, Metal Gear was my favorite game of all time. This might be up there as like a 1.5 kind of thing. I really it's, and you can hate me for it. Like, I know a lot of people didn't like the game, but there's something about it really grabbed me, and it's like attached deep inside my soul. And so right away I jumped on Steam and I saw it was on sale for $30, half off. And I picked it up, and let me tell you, on PC, it's really pretty, and I'm running it at 144 frames a second.
Wow.
And so it looks just stunning, and I'm really excited to jump in. I don't know if I'm gonna do a full playthrough, but just to taste it again. Like I just miss it so much.
So I can actually put you on the spot then right here on the show, since there's listeners all over watching, listening on YouTube and all the different podcast readers. You still have the PS4 physical disc version, knowing full well that your boy has never played it. I know I just teased you just about 35 seconds ago, but I still find that this is the perfect time for me to say to you, you need to loan me that game. Because I need to walk a little bit in 100%. The shoes that Hideo Kojima. What is it? The Metal Gear Solid guy made the Death Stranding. I'm kidding.
I'll 100% bring it in.
Like it, JJ. I think you're actually gonna like it.
Yeah, I'll lend it to you because I have my own copy on PC now. I can play on the computer, and you can borrow my PS4 copy, play that for a little bit, see how much enjoy or hate it. We'll see.
yeah, we'll be able to see. Then I'll be able to talk about something next week. So I expect it on Wednesday on my desk, on the master desk.
You mean my desk? It's funny. You're the quote unquote master, but I'm the only one with a desk in the office. So
real masters don't need desks.
I don't need a desk. I don't need a desk. My desk is a rolling vehicle where I just roll all the time into the work.
You need a desk to make you feel important, Garrett?
And to answer phones.
Is that what you're saying?
Do you
feel good about yourself? Sitting down at your desk?
I as much as JJ's put me down, it's the little things that help me feel good, It's those little things like having a desk. Yes, okay. I was trying to make myself feel good because JJ's not doing me any favors.
I want to say it out loud just so the listeners can hear it. We had a company Christmas party a couple of days ago, and Garrett's wife, Trudy, who's really, really wonderful, she puts up with so much stuff from Garrett and from the podcast and everything else. But I saw her and I said, so you got to tell me, Trudy, like, he probably tells you all the time, like, oh, dude, he's my best friend in the whole world. God, I just love working with JJ. And dude, you know what? I was expecting her to go like, no, he's never said anything like that of the sort. But I was hoping for something like that, because then I could be like, oh, what, dude, what? I thought we were boys, And she's like, no, he always talks about how great you are. And like, oh, you were like such a close friend to him. And I was like, oh man, she hit me with something really nice. I'm like, I got nothing. And I was like,
she went psych.
She's like,
he's crying. He's crying.
I was like, really surprised she said that, dude. Like, your wife got like really violent, like out of nowhere. And I was like, where did that? She just called me a sissy and laughed in my face.
So much hate.
Oh man. No, JJ, really, I know here we are at the end of the show, getting all sappy and everything, but it has been an awesome 2 years, and I'm so thankful for you for being an awesome friend and for jumping on 2 years ago with me on this crazy adventure that neither one of us, thought would make it this far. I'm pretty sure. Like we might have said it to each other, but I know deep down inside is like, how long is this going to last before one of us is like, it's done, is bored of it,
I had it pegged at 5 episodes. So congratulations, Garrett. You've done an excellent job growing this show and turning it into what it is. You truly are the heart of the show, dude. I know that it's been a pleasure for me to be a part of it and to live your dream and to be doing this. This thing was not my dream in the beginning. I saw my friend had talent and had a desire to do something. And I'm happy that I got to get brought on and do some of the things that I do kind of unlike anybody else. And I get to bring them to the podcast medium here at the Super Gamer Boys. And I thank you, my friend. And Zetcha, thank you for coming on and now for leaving us.
I'm not leaving forever. I'm just, I'll just be like I'm like the college kid that goes away and then, visits during the holidays.
There we go. Yeah, no, and thank you, Zet, for coming on. I mean, you guested when JJ was out for that month or so, a couple months helping with hosting, and then come on a couple months later as full timer. We so very much appreciate that. It's made the show better. Just having I know we don't see eye to eye on a lot of things, but having those different viewpoints is also
because they're so taller than me.
Yeah, it is because like
exactly.
It's legitimately this is what it looks like. When your guys' eyes are like in the same space.
But it really does make the show it makes the show so much more interesting, having those different viewpoints. So I thank you for bringing those even at my own detriment. But no, honestly, it's been a blast having you, and I'm thankful that you're willing to man the Super Gamer Book Club because you're great at it. The last 2 episodes have been awesome, and I'm looking forward to see what the future ones hold.
I want to say thank you to both you guys for even letting me be on. Like, this was pretty cool. So you guys are both awesome people. I'm really excited to be part of this team, and even though I won't be around full time all the time anymore, but
you'll still be in our hearts.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I'll be here. I'll be listening to your episodes. So keep that in mind.
Occasionally, you'll still be in my pocket. I'll carry you around like the diminutive little man you are.
I'll be screaming at Garrett through my car speakers I drive.
Why, idiot?
That's legitimately happened several times with you.
Happens. Yeah, it does. Last time he was talking about Crunch. Yeah, in the last episode when he was talking about Crunch, I was like, what's wrong with Crunch? Why is he saying Crunch is bad? Crunch isn't bad. You know who does Crunch all the time? Blue collar workers. I'm literally yelling this at my car.
Windows down. The people next to you are like, what the heck?
Are you kidding me? Not to mention people that work at, I just want to make a point. CD Projekt Red employees make so much money. That's why none of them are complaining about Crunch. They literally don't care. They are making, I think their bonus is like, they make, I think it's like 2% or 5% of whatever like the net sales are of the game. And that game is projected to make like millions. So do the math. So what, you put in a few extra money, you put in a few extra hours at the end of the month, end of the game. Anyway, that's literally what I said. I don't want to say that now.
Yeah.
It blew my mind.
We were getting all heartfelt and
blew my mind.
And then now it's just got a little heated here. But thank you guys so much.
I love you, Garrett. I love you. I love you, JJ.
Thanks. The kid, we love you too, man. And I can only imagine the kid in the car next to you when you're yelling at the speakers and Garrett, and like the little kid telling like their mom, like, Mom, why is that hobbit yelling at his radio right now?
I can't even see over his steering wheel.
Like, what? And he can drive, and he's littler than me. Why does he drive? He's yelling at inanimate objects, Mom.
Oh man,
that's what I see.
Alrighty, guys. Thank you so much for listening this week. If you love what we do and want to support us, remember patreon.com/supergamerboys. We have 4 different levels. You can support us over there, get sweet perks, get episodes early and ad-free, all the fun stuff there. And you can also go over to supergamerboys.com/store, get some sweet merch. We got mugs, we got phone cases, we got t-shirts, we got whatever you want over there. You want a shirt like my mom? It's time for the nerdy nudes. Check it out.
We need a blanket. We need a blanket with our faces on it.
Our faces, yes. I think, you know what? So with Teespring, the way it works is the longer you have the store, they unlock new items. I think that was recently unlocked for us as blankets. So I might need to jump on the Photoshop and make up a little blanket with our faces.
Yeah.
And then we can cuddle. You can cuddle up with me, JJ, and old Zetch.
You can snuggle your loved ones with
all 5 of us.
Super Gamer Boys.
And for an extra $10, we'll actually come to your house and legitimately snuggle with you with the blanket.
How meta would it be to snuggle in our blanket?
That's what the product photo would have to be on the store. All three of us snuggling under the blanket with our faces on it. Oh no!
No, because I can only imagine Zetch making it weird with no pants again. Like that's why we don't hang out anymore.
I don't wear pants. I'm not wearing pants now.
I know.
Alrighty, guys. You can rate and review us over on your favorite podcast service, or if you're watching on YouTube, smash that like button, subscribe to our channel. Ring that bell, get those notifications. If we're going to be expanding our reach, we got to get the lingo around. I got to learn. I've been watching a lot of Jacksepticeye. He's on top of it. So I'm just going to start stealing his intros and outros. No, just kidding. You can find us during the week over at supergamerboys.com, Twitter and Instagram at supergamerboys, facebook.com/supergamerboys. I am on Twitter at gmorlang. JJ is over on Twitter and Instagram now.
I am also on Instagram. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter. I've just started posting some photos.
You've done a couple
of
stories.
at JJ Purdom.
at JJ Purdom. Check it out over there. And then Zetch is over on the social media. I feel like every week you're on a different site. So which one do we got this week?
I'm still on Instagram and Twitter, kind of.
I thought you had deleted them at one point, and so you weren't really on them. So
I didn't. I never deleted them. I have my accounts. I think I just deleted the apps.
Okay, just the apps. Okay. So at NerdDadZetch, you can find him over at those two platforms. Give him a follow. Thank you to Star Andrews for our logo. Check her out on Instagram at Ground Floor Graphics and Facebook.com/Ground Floor Graphics. That's it. That's our 100th episode.
Cool.
How do we end this one?
Congratulations. Happy anniversary. Happy 100, guys. Oh, we made it through the week, and thank God, because Zetch, I couldn't be in this room with you anymore, man.
We did it.
I'm so excited. No, I'm just kidding. We're going to miss you. You're the man. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us, and non-binary listeners to our show. Thank you so much for joining us here on the Super Gamer Boys. We've had just a blast being able to do this 100 times over and over and over again, never ending. But we end it now so we can come back to you next week with a very special episode. So, ladies and gentlemen, my name is JJ Purdom, the little diminutive guy who sometimes fits right in my front pocket. That is Nerd Dad, Zetch Keenan.
And
then the guy who's like apparently the captain of this ship. I'll let him have the captain thing. I'm releasing it back to him. His name is Garrett Morlang, and he really doesn't stutter quite as much as he used to. I found that a good cattle prod every once in a while works fairly well. We are the Super Gamer Boys.
And we will catch you on the flippity flop.
Forza's better than Gran Turismo.
It is. Yeah, just accept it.